goal to beat, a shot to beat him. But I think in domestic football he's been absolutely outstanding.
We saw this game, Charlie, didn't we? He was the difference in the end between Rangers and Celtic, wasn't he?
Yeah, McCoy's got the headline with the goal, but there was no denying it. Gorham that night was fantastic. He had 2 magnificent saves. And then just a couple of weeks later, he denied Celtic again in league duty. He seems to be wearing these strange bandages in his knees. And everybody keeps thinking that he's not particularly mobile because he wears these, but the saves this guy's making is quite extraordinary.
You mentioned it on the night, didn't you, that maybe the knees weren't so good, but there was no sign of it, was there? He was climbing and snatching everything out of the air.
The only thing I see a little different from him that he's not doing as much is possibly coming for the cross balls. But when, I know Goff isn't playing tonight, when his defence is doing what they've been doing all season, he doesn't have to. But his saves that's kept Rangers in games has been so important.
Nice to know he's behind you, isn't it?
Yeah, he's one of the best shot stoppers you see, you know. He's not the biggest, but, you know, he spreads himself well. He's got a good pair of hands. And there'd be a lot of onus on him tonight without Richard Goff.
At the other end, of course, Michael Watt, who's keeping Theo Schnelders out of the side right now. He's had nightmares against Rangers in the past, Charlie.
Yeah.
Will that be on his mind tonight?
Maybe not, but Hateley not playing. Hateley's been crucifying this guy for the last few seasons. I think young Michael's problem was that he was always coming in for 2 or 3 games when Schnelders was injured. And then he was back out of the team, no matter how his form was going. So now he's got a few games under his belt, and his confidence must be growing. He's not always been the most confident of goalkeepers, probably because he's not always in the side, but I expect this guy to go on and stabilise his position. But all round, a comfortable goalkeeper, an under-21 international, so he's been about.
And for a keeper, young, 24 is no age at all, is it?
No, it's young for a keeper, that's right, and I think not so much pressure on him tonight. I would expect people like Ingalls and Smith in the central defensive roles to really help the kid out and really get him through this game.
And if Aberdeen are doing what Ray Aitken says they will, which is attacking, maybe there won't be too much necessity for their keeper this
You'll be hoping for that, that's for sure.
That's Michael Watt, who keeps goal for Aberdeen tonight on what was earlier a very wet Hampden Park. But is it still raining? We can find out in a moment or so when we join Davy Probin, who can give us all the team news. Davy, is it still wet?
Well, thankfully the rain is off now, Richard. The main worry here about an hour ago was whether or not the drainage here at the National Stadium would cope with the rain that has fallen all day here in Glasgow. We have the teams, and 2 very attacking teams they appear to be. Roy Aitken, of course, considers that the strength of his side lies from midfield forward, and there's no doubt that he will have a real go tonight at a Rangers side that is seriously depleted by injuries. Let's then have a look at that Rangers side tonight. Before Saturday, of course, Walter Smith had already been without Charlie Miller, Brian Laudrup, and he lost Stuart McCall in the match against Juventus in Turin. Well, there was more bad news to follow on Saturday in the match against Hearts, because he was to lose David Robertson and Richard Goff. Robertson with a hamstring, Goff with a groin strain. Now, the changes in that Rangers side: Stephen Wright will come in and play at right back. Ali McCoist, as you can see, will partner Oleg Salenko up front. And John Brown, the veteran Rangers player, of course, he can play in either midfield or at the back. Out of the Rangers side, let's just confirm that Richard Goff and David Robertson. The other change to Saturday's side, Alexei Mikhailichenko, who is on the bench tonight. Let's move on then to the Aberdeen side. And better news for them, because Roy Aitken just about able to field what he would consider to be a full-strength side. Fullback Colin Woodthorpe, of course, is out for 6 weeks. He broke a bone in his foot against Motherwell a fortnight ago. But that apart, all the news is good. And the most significant news for the Aberdeen supporters is that the Premier League's top scorer, Scott Booth, is back. And that means demotion for Duncan Shearer. He starts the match on the bench tonight. Now, Paul Bernard came into the Aberdeen side. He started a match for the first time against Partick Thistle on Saturday. He had to be reasonably patient before that, but he did get a start on Saturday, and he also managed to grab a goal. And Roy Aitken will look for him and Paul Bernard to be significant players for his side tonight. Well, they're the sides that will go head-to-head here at the National Stadium tonight, Richard. The prize for the winners, of course, a place in the Coca-Cola Cup final on November the 26th against either Dundee or Airdrie. For the moment, though, back to you.
Yes, Davey, thank you. That other semi tomorrow night. Reminder that this goes all the way this evening, extra time, and if we require them, then there will be penalties as well. But McCoist plays for Rangers. That's a real boost for them, and this is how much the bookies value him. He's favourite to get the opener tonight at 4-1. Salenko, his strike partner, 5-1. Dury, who's been in really good form of late, 6-1. Scott Booth of Aberdeen, 7-1. And Paul Gascoigne there, 8-1. Ian Jess at 12-1. I always like to look further back. Right of Rangers, 50-1. And Stuart McKimmie of Aberdeen at 80-1 there. Paul Gascoigne back at the weekend. Rangers got 4 against Hearts. Has he settled up there now, Charlie?
Yes, he has. I think when he first came back into the Rangers side after his first injury early in the season, I think it took him maybe 3 or 4 matches to really get his sharpness. I think gradually the victories against Celtic certainly helped him. When he scores this goal, I mean, he's not even in the picture. He's no right to get this for a guy who's, I think, obviously been struggling to the start of the season with fitness, but he makes up tremendous ground. And that's the day that Rangers fans really confirmed he was going to be one of the real favourites. And since then, he's played particularly well. This was a good goal here. But in that game in particular, I think Gascoigne was outstanding against Motherwell that night, and I think he really showed his class.
You've done it, Nigel, an Englishman moving into Glasgow. What difficulties are you confronted with?
Well, I wasn't a high-profile player like Paul Gascoigne is. I think he's going to have problems off the park wherever he goes because the media want to know what he's doing every minute of the day. A bit like Charlie when he came down to London when he was at Arsenal. But I think...
well, the difference was they could never find him, so it didn't matter so much to him.
But the thing is, for Paul, he's such a talented player, they just want him to do it on the park. They don't care what he does off the park, and I think that's the thing with Scottish people. They just want you to perform on the park. They don't care about your private life or anything. And I think Paul will go up there, do his best on the park, and hopefully stay there for a few seasons, win a few trophies, and go down as one of the best players to come out of England to play in Scotland.
You enjoyed it, didn't you?
I had a great time there. I mean, 3 successful years there. It's nothing better than playing for a club that's winning trophies and competing in like semi-finals of cups, finals of cups. And I think Paul, you know, tonight will be wanting to play very well to get into his first cup final.
Let's have a look at Ian Jess. Midfield this season, Charlie.
Yep.
Is that a change that he's taken to comfortably enough?
Yes, he's taken it very well. I actually watched him very closely. In situations now, he's getting forward a lot easier. He always seems to be facing the goal rather than his back to goal, which he was facing last year. And through his own admission, he says early in the season that he's struggled for the last 3 seasons, which is quite extraordinary when people are writing about this guy's potential. But he's thriving in this role. He's getting more time. He's starting to have power shots, as we see here. I watched him against Motherwell in the quarter-finals, and he was simply outstanding. Every time he got the ball, he ran at people, and he's doing this a lot more often now. And he's certainly back to his best. Exciting player.
I mean, you'll know the difference, Nigel, won't you? Running at goal as opposed to playing with your back to it. It does...
I don't run anywhere, Richard. You should know that. I don't know where the goals are. But I think it's interesting in just playing in midfield. I mean, he's not the quickest player, but he's got a good footballing brain. He picks up the ball, runs into good areas. And I think at Aberdeen have got so many strikers. I think it was maybe the best thing for him was to move back into that role, and I think he's thriving on it.
You say they've got so many strikers. Scott Booth back in the side, the top scorer at Pittodrie this season. Would he be Scotland's first choice striker right now, Charlie?
At the moment, yes. I think Craig Brown has already says Scott Booth and McCoyce is really would be his ideal partnership when they're fit. But this kid is when I was playing at Aberdeen, the Booth and Jess were coming through the ranks, and Jess was the one they were all talking about. He's got a little bit more flair than Booth. But young Scott Booth loves scoring goals, and he does it ever so well. And the beauty of Scott Booth now is that Aberdeen rely so much on him, and that shows how much a mark he's made in that team.
One of the reasons that they had such an indifferent season last time round, because he was injured so often in the last campaign.
Yeah, well, they certainly missed him, although Duncan Shearer, to be honest, has been scoring a lot of goals when he's been playing. But they certainly missed this guy. I think that he just gives them that, as Roy said earlier, a little bit of extra pace up front. He's prepared to always take the gamble, near post runs, which you don't really see so much of now from a striker. This guy's prepared to do these near post runs, and he gets a lot of goals from that.
Well, there has to be a winner tonight, one way or the other. The other semi tomorrow night, of course. But who is going to the Coca-Cola Cup final, Nigel?
There's only one choice for me. I've got to go for Rangers. I think...
How, then?
How?
90 minutes? Extra time?
Yes,
penalties?
I think it'll be over in 90 minutes. I think most probably Super Ali will pop up with a goal to make sure Rangers go through.
He usually does, doesn't he? Charlie?
Yep. I think if Aberdeen score first, they'll go on and win it. but my head keeps telling me Rangers, unfortunately. But I think we're going to see a lot of goals here.
But that's how important the first goal is. You think if Aberdeen get it, they can win?
So. Yes, I think so. I said the same about Celtic and Rangers. First to score would win. But I think Aberdeen must go first because defensively, Rangers are the strongest, even without Goff.
Live football tonight from Sky Sports. Once again, Hampden Park, which happily has tried somewhat after a real battering today. Rangers against Aberdeen comes up next, live. Coming up in a moment, Hampden Park. For the first of two Coca-Cola Cup semi-finals being played this week, we're live tonight with Rangers against Aberdeen. Super Sunday this weekend takes us to White Hart Lane. Spurs against the FA Carling Premiership leaders, Newcastle United. What a match that will be. And on Monday night, another chance to assess Arsenal's more recent progress against Bolton Wanderers, who are settling down now. Bolton against Arsenal is our live Monday night football. But it's to Hampden Park now. Our match commentators this evening, Terry Butcher and Jock Brown.
Good evening, Richard. Great anticipation here inside the stadium for what should be a terrific match, because these sides have met 6 times, with 1987 and 1993 in the League Cup. Coca-Cola Cup as it is now. 4 times in the final, and every game really, Terry, has been a classic. You've played in some.
I've played in some classics. I've won quite a few and lost quite a few as well, but this is what it's all about, really. A nice, wet, windy, wild Hampden Park and a cup semi-final. So in the past we've seen sendings off, we've seen goals, we've seen own goals, we've seen quite a few. So we're hopefully looking forward to a classic tonight.
Well, the stadium not completely full. That reflects the weather conditions this evening, but a very enthusiastic crowd still within the stadium nevertheless, and I'm sure both sides will get a terrific welcome. Aberdeen last season, Terry, despite the fact that they struggled and just avoided relegation, still managed to do some damage against Rangers. They had a draw, they had a win at Pittodrie, a draw also at Pittodrie, 2 narrow defeats. Can they do it again tonight?
I don't know, really. You never know in cup tie football. We've heard from David Proban that Richard Goff is not playing for Rangers. I think that'll be a massive boost to the Aberdeen team in that dressing room, knowing that the Rangers captain, who's on form and scored a couple of goals in the last few games, he's not playing. So they'll try and capitalise on a bit of indecision, a bit of inexperience of a new back three.
Well, it could be some morale problem for Rangers in the sense that they've lost, as I reckon, Laudrup, Goff, Robertson, Stephen, Charlie Miller, Ian Ferguson, Stuart McCall, and of course Mark Haitley has just gone. Does that not surely have some disruptive effect?
Yeah, obviously when you lose players of that calibre, although Paul Gascoigne is back, the absence of these internationals and great superstars really, does give other people a chance, like the Craig Moores, the Alec Cleland, especially Alec Cleland, who's come into the side and done well, as we saw in the game at Celtic Park. You know, he comes on leaps and bounds when it comes to the big occasion. He's growing in stature. As the players who have had to fill in through the injuries to these players have come in and have done well.
From the Aberdeen point of view, they have a big travelling contingent down this evening for this match, travelling in some kind of hope, I think, perhaps even some expectation in view of performances this season. Now, their problem this season has been losing goals. They've had no real difficulty scoring them. That could be fatal against Rangers, surely.
It could be. I think if they go a goal down to Rangers, then they really do have their backs up against the wall. I think if they do go ahead, then they really do have a good chance of going all the way. The Aberdeen fans especially, and they've come down in their thousands again, in very, very difficult conditions, will probably see it as their best chance to beat Rangers in a semi-final.
Well, these supporters certainly will believe that without any question. It's a long way down from the granite city of Aberdeen. But they're here, full of enthusiasm and all set for what should be another classic occasion. The playing surface very wet. The forking of the turf has gone on for a long time before the match. What kind of effect might that have on the performance tonight?
Well, I think it'll make it very skiddy, it'll make it very slippy for the players. We're bound to see mistakes, we're bound to see a lot of ricochets and errors from players slipping over, but it should add to the passing. Both teams like to pass the ball, both teams have players that are very comfortable on the ball, both receiving and giving the ball away. So I think it'll add to a really good game. I always liked the playing conditions where it was wet and slippy, probably because I could slide in from 20 yards away and bring people down, but people like Charlie Nicholas when I was playing against him. But it's nice when you've got a slippery surface because the ball zips over the surface quite well, and you can really ping passes into your strikers. And once the ball's played alongside a striker, it's very difficult for defenders to win the ball without pulling that striker down.
Well, I've just seen the players waiting in the tunnel there. What's the feeling like among players at this particular time, Terry?
Well, the usual, first of all, you've got to try and negotiate those terrible steps to come down from the dressing rooms. I slipped down there a couple of times, nearly knocked myself out before the game, but the players are taking it quite steady, and Hugh Dallas there ready to lead the teams out. Everybody's quite happy, everybody's looking forward to it. The nerves are really left behind in the change rooms now. You just come out now and listen to the roar.
And Ali McCoy leading out Rangers. In for the night in the absence of Richard Goff. So some tense looks there on the faces of the players as they emerge. Well, they've had a terrific reception. So the team's now lining up in the centre, greeting both sets of supporters. And the breaking to each end of the pitch, Rangers breaking there. And to the west end of the ground to prepare their build-up. And there's confirmation of that team, which has had to be changed because of the absence of David Robertson and Richard Goff, both injured at the weekend, adding to that dreadful casualty list. Nevertheless, there are 9 full internationals in that starting lineup. Only John Brown and Alec Cleland have not worn their country's colours.
Well, it's very difficult to see how Rangers will line up when they have players that can play in different positions. This is how we think they probably will line up, with Cleland going to left back, where he's done so well for them. Stephen Wright to right back in his accustomed role. Craig Moore comes in as he did against Juventus alongside Petric, though McLaren's there this time. But with a 3-man midfield and with 2 men up front, Rangers really have a very attacking side.
So that may be the Rangers lineup. Aberdeen, though, almost at full strength. The only real absentee that may well have played tonight might have been Colin Woodthorpe, who might well have played at left back had he been fit. But he is missing through injury. Stephen Glass showing his versatility, dropping back into that left back position. And Paul Bernard starting on his second game in Aberdeen colours.
Yeah, we think they'll split up a little bit like this, really, with a 3-man midfield. And here we go into the midfield. 4-man midfield, really, with Miller on the left-hand side, Booth and Dodds up front. Duncan Shearer, unfortunately, on the bench.
So referee Hugh Dallas from Motherwell prepares to get the game underway. One of the most highly rated young officials in the country on the FIFA list. He's now satisfied that all the formalities have been completed. It will be Aberdeen to kick off. The number 10 huddled over the ball is Billy Dodds. So the semi-final of the Coca-Cola Cup is underway. And Aberdeen trying to get forward instantly from the kick-off. There's Alan McLaren in that advanced position. He's pushed forward clearly to look after Ian Jess in midfield. Gordon Jury starting the match wide on the left. McCoist inside, a shooting chance perhaps. Good effort from McCoist. Space opened up there in the Aberdeen defence, and McCoist almost took full advantage.
Great play by Gordon Jury on the left-hand side. Good ball into Alan McCoist. Just gets his feet right here, falling back. And that ball really, we were right behind the right of that ball. There's only inches away from Michael Watt's left-hand post. Great start by Alan McCoist.
So John Brown's header. Stephen Wright has started the match at left back with Alec Cleland at right back. And here's Salenko putting pressure on Michael Watt. Well, Michael Watt has a record tonight. This is his 8th consecutive match. It's the first time he's done that in Aberdeen's colours. He's played 7 times in a row on 2 occasions before this, but this is a big moment for him, establishing himself as first choice ahead of Fierstands.
Well, it's quite interesting to see from up here at what about cloud level we are at Glasgow at the moment. That's Rangers formation. Stephen Wright's gone to left back. They have a 3 at the back of Gordon Petric, John Brown and Craig Moore. On the right back position is Alec Cleland, as we see with the ball now. In midfield, it's Alan McLaren pushed forward, as he has done for Scotland in quite a few occasions, partnering Gaza. Gordon Jury on the left-hand side, following that great run, and then we've got up front McCoist and Salenko. So a bit of a different turn-up for the books from a formation point of view from Rangers.
Well, these Rangers players lending themselves to all sorts of possible formations. Here's Alec Cleland trying to make headway, and halted very well indeed there by McKimmie. So alterations also in the Aberdeen tactical setup. They've switched McKimmie across there. He's challenging Salenko carefully as Gary Smith clears. Played forward there by Stephen Glass. So Brian Grant has started the match, Terry at right back.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tactical chess match really from both managers. I think just trying to impose their own game plan onto the opponents. But so far Rangers have started well, had a good chance from Alan McCoist, and have got deep into Aberdeen territory right from the word go.
So determination, I think, on the part of Roy Aitken to keep that midfield formation the same. He has Miller, Bernard, Jess and Glass across the middle. Grant at right back, McKinney at left back, Ingles and Smith the centre backs. Booth and Dodds, of course, up front. There's McKinney. Now John Brown. Tidying up at the back. Selling a dummy there to Billy Dodds, which the Rangers fans enjoyed. Well, he's proved to be a terrific servant to Rangers. He's joining from Dundee in 1988. Now 33 years old, player coach. Bernard did well. There's Jess. Here's Ingles. Claren backtracking there, looking after Jess. Jury's header. There's Gascoigne, the ball now for just about the first time in the match. Trying to go past Bernard. Now Stephen Wright, former Aberdeen player, of course. Grant's clearance. This is Booth. A little bit careless there, asking a lot of Joe Miller. Allowing Goran Petric to make the challenge. Bit of wrestling there between Dodds and Petric, and the free kick goes to Rangers. Roy Aitken off his seat in the dugout there, complaining on the track, correcting some advice to referee Dallas. There's Gascoigne. Moore playing it forward. Salenko's come off his marker, which he does so well. He's been brought down, and Rangers have a free kick. John McLaren over the ball. Gascoigne wants to take over. The last time Gascoigne played at Hampden Park was in 1989 as a substitute for England against Scotland. Only for the last 10 minutes. Ball skidding through there to Michael Watt.
Joe, what was the final score in that game, by the way?
Can't remember at all, Terry. Rumour has it England won by 2-0. And Stuart McKimmie, incidentally, made his debut for Scotland on that occasion.
Poor lad, really, poor lad.
Played 36 times in all, so it didn't do him too much harm. That's great play by Gascoigne. Passing a bit light towards McCoist. Here's Jess. Now Miller. Bernard inside. Over on the far side, McKimmie calling for the ball. Captain. Great servant to Aberdeen. 12 years he's been at Pittodrie and trying to test Andy Gordon from long range. Certainly not a prolific goal scorer, Stuart McKimmie.
Well, he's still not very prolific with this shot, but he must have heard that he was 80-1. We saw the odds before the game. He was 80-1 to score. Well worth a poke, because you never know in this windy and wet conditions the ball skid off the pitch or anything else. He comes inside here. One thing on his mind, he's going to have a crack. That's not too bad for a target.
Now Stephen Wright breaking on the left for Rangers. Backtracked very effectively by Joe Miller. So the throw will go to Aberdeen. Right at the corner flag. Ryan Grant being waved back. Another long-serving Aberdeen player. He's been 11 years there since signing from Stirling Albion. Just £50,000. On the way by Brown. Well, it's remarkable to think of the changing face of football. 2 years ago, these two sides met in the 4th round of the Cup. And no Rangers player on the field tonight played in the match. Only 4 Aberdeen survivors. Booth and Jess, survivors. And McKimmie and Gary Smith. No Rangers player playing this evening on the pitch, which is a really remarkable turnaround. Here's Gordon Jury. Good close control, it's away from Ingles. Ingles sticking to his task very well indeed. Has a poor clearance. Chance for McCoist. Well, John Ingles wasting some very good defensive work there. Giving the chance to McCoist in the end via Salenko.
Well, great play once again by Gordon Drew. He thought he'd taken it a bit too far here. John Ingles does well. And his rash clearance really strikes Salenko. Goes straight to McCoist. And had that been on McCoist's right foot, I think that would have been 1-0 Rangers.
There's a problem here for Paul Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne is being spoken to by referee Dallas. Now, the reason for that is a very angry exchange of words initiated by Gascoigne with Ian Jess. So referee Dallas conveying the message quite clearly, that's not required. Now, Jess didn't appear to be involved at all, but he certainly upset Gascoigne in some particular way. Goal given again to Aberdeen. Here's Gascoigne. The layoff from Salenko. Jury to right. Petric remaining in the marking role. John Brown's a spare man at the back in the golf position. Missed by Dodds and by Brown. That's Petric tidying up. Craig Moore goes across. Now McCoist. Nimble play coming inside. A little bit short to pass from McLaren. Giving Craig Moore some work to do. Petric to Brown. Calmly back to Andy Goran. Well, it's a match which is likely to produce goals. Aberdeen have failed to score only once this season in their competitive matches. 12 competitive matches, they've only failed against Rangers up at Pittodrie when they played extremely well. Apart from that, they have the highest average of goals scored among Premier Division sides this season so far. Under 2.2 per match. Clearance there by Michael Watt. There's no offside flag there against Gordon Jury because he was not involved in active play, in new FIFA terminology. On by Glass, that's John Brown's clearance. Right, plays it back. Glass with the header, there's Alec Cleland. McCoy's breaking. He's been very lively at the start, having missed out on Saturday's match against Hearts. And Gordon Jury scored in his position up front. Dangerous play against Billy Dodds, lifting his boot too high against John Brown. Well, the referee having words now with Alan McLaren taking that free kick. Well, the ball was on the move too quickly. There he goes, John Brown. You just see Billy Dodd's feet just a little bit too high. The referee right on the spot. Just trying to calm things down a little bit. Just trying to, Paul Gascoigne in particular, several Aberdeen players, Rangers players, just getting a little bit too hot under the collar. Headed back by Paul Bernard. So the settling in process continuing in the match. Headed away by Moore. Header on, Salenko chases. By Gary Smith, one of those 4 survivors from 2 years ago. Different position he played, I think, that occasion. He got left back, as I recall. Throw this time to Rangers. Well, I'll tell you, has the Rangers adjusted formation settled, do you think? Yes, it has. I mean, both teams are trying to play football. Both teams are trying to get the ball down and make some passes. Aberdeen haven't quite got out of their half yet, but apart from Gordon Jury's 2 runs down the left-hand side, Rangers really haven't strung that many passes together. But I think one will be quite pleased with the way Rangers have settled into a new formation, a new system really, with Gordon Jury on the left-hand side. But they look the more the team to really get things going. Petric looking a little bit casual there, has to recover. Jury's layoff. Salenko showing strength. Jury has the pace. John Ingles very quick also. Appeal by Gordon Jury, but really I don't think much substance to that. He turned inside John Ingles, who matched him very well for pace in that run. Jury looks aggrieved. Here's why. Yeah, I thought he could have got in this position here, but we didn't quite see it beforehand. I think he's just pushed the ball too far really, and just clinging to, or clutching at straws really, hoping to get a free kick for obstruction. But he did get down the left-hand side. Had he whipped the ball in with his left foot, Oleg Salenko would have been there for a good chance, but Oleg Salenko gave him a few mouthfuls. I think it was a Russian or whatever language it was, and I think he told him, really, get that ball in the box as quickly as you can. But he's posed a threat down that left-hand side, Gordon Jury. Well, big responsibility on Alan McLaren. in the middle of the field. There he goes, close to Jess. He backs off again. Challenged by Moore. McLaren standing in no ceremony either. That's Gascoigne. Robbed neatly by Bernard. And Gascoigne and Bernard exchanging a little bit of banter or whatever in the middle of the field as the ball was released. Now it's with Petrich. Well, Terry, that's Gascoigne involved again in a nothing situation.
Well, he's the sort of player that likes to get hyped up, sometimes likes to take a bang, a challenge or whatever. He seemed just going in a bit too... Seemed just one of those reminiscent of the tackle he made in the cup final, of course, against Charles. But he just likes to get involved with things like that. He likes to feel the centre of attention, and sometimes, you know, he does get a bit hot-headed, but he has to play that way. He has to play 110% all the time.
Headed by Moore, collected comfortably there by McKinney. Craig Moore's clearance. Ingles trying to involve Billy Dodds. Significant that the Aberdeen front two, Booth and Dodds, really have not been involved in the match so far.
Well, they haven't been involved, they haven't had a lot of service, to be honest. A lot of lofted clearances, as we saw from John Ingles, for them to chase after, but not really a lot of change out of three centre-halves. It's difficult to play against two, but against three top-class markers, it's extremely hard.
This is Ingles. Good play by Bernard. Grant playing it forward. Petrich read that well for Rangers. Now Grant. Covering player was Craig Moore. Now this midfield battle fascinating. Gascoigne and McLaren for Rangers. Bernard and Jess for Aberdeen, right in the centre of the field. Actually, could be one lost in that particular department. Bernard. Flick by Dodds was effective. There's Booth. Handball by Gascoigne. Aberdeen anxious to get on with things. There's McKimmie with Miller outside him. High cross, unlikely to cut much ice against this Rangers defence. Booth and Dodds. Not very tall. Well, the offside flag is up against Billy Dodds. Shot came from Jess. Dodds was flagged offside, although it was deflected towards him.
Well, you can see, look, just along the line here. I'm not too sure when that ball was actually struck. I think it probably might have been level, but the linesman was very quick to put his flag up, and as it happened, Billy Dodds' cross was comfortably dealt with by Andy Gorham. But he does go on the onside, offside position, as all good strikers do.
Chase on here, Ingles ahead of Salenko. Major asset to John Ingles is his athleticism and pace. £400,000 he cost from St Johnstone just under a year ago. Here's Jess battling with Gascoigne. His upper body strength so important there. He's been fouled. This time Jess will be spoken to, I think. Remarkable upper body strength though, shown by Gascoigne, and he really muscled Jess out of that.
Well, that's a great part of his game. He goes past people, holds people off with his arms and with his upper body strength, and scores lots of goals. You have to be quite right, really. You should have a word with Paul Gascoigne to calm down a little bit, because those two really have had quite a few heated exchanges so far.
Well, flying arms all the time, but especially from Gascoigne. Really lucky to have his free kick. Very well angled in, just too high for McLaren. Beautifully driven free kick that from Gascoigne.
It's the right sort of ball into the area, aimed towards the far post really. Any slight touch here could be a goal or not, but Alan McLaren just coming up. Just can't get off the ground on the far post as he would have liked, but good flight of free kick into the danger area.
Joe Miller has now switched to the Aberdeen left. Dodds trying to find Jess with a turn pass. Here goes Gascoigne, taken right out of the play by Paul Bernard. It's a booking without question for Bernard, and he really has no complaint. He had no possibility of playing the ball there.
Well, as we can see, Paul Gascoigne nutmegs in there right through his legs. No, pros don't like that. The chance came back to lunge in. He lunged in there with the wrong foot. Really, I thought he was going to tackle with his right foot. As we can see, just lugged him with his left foot there. Probably a right foot tackle would have been better. But as it is now, he's got booked by the referee. Now he's got to be very careful as to what he does in that tight midfield area.
Well, Gascoigne influence considerable here. He's upset Paul Bernard. He's certainly getting close to Ian Jess also. Petrich with a free kick. John Brown was up for the attack. Could make nothing of that.
Well, I find that quite strange that Gordon Petrich actually takes his free kick, because Paul Gascoigne was behind him, and I think Walter Smith will be quite disappointed at the fact that Paul Gascoigne didn't get on the ball. I think his delivery forward would probably be a little bit better, but we know Gordon Petrich, and we know that Alan McCoist, Paul Gascoigne, I should say, can both strike from long distances.
Singing around the stadium, mostly from the Rangers supporters, as McKimmie tries to pick out the front men. He finds both. Good effort there from Glass. Head tumbled and he got him. An easy ball.
A really good strike here by Stephen Glass on his wrong foot. A bit high for Andy Gorham, but he might have just taken his eye off the ball a little bit. Luckily for him, he just popped back up and he's able to make a comfortable second catch.
Back it comes to McCoist. Salenko doing well against Ingles in the air. Frustration again for McCoist. Still managed to score 6 times so far this season. Michael Watt, just 24 years old, made his debut on Boxing Day in 1989 for Aberdeen. He's been on the scene a long time. Here's McCoist. Now McLaren. Goes down rapidly there by Stephen Glass. Now Stephen Wright. Crossed over to the far side now. He's playing in the right back position. Alec Fellon on the left. Jess with a pass. Too long in the air. Big no stumble, allowing Bernard to break. That's a fine pass. Here's Joe Miller, both weights in the middle. Well, the delivery, a major disappointment. The apology given instantly by Miller.
I think he's given the apology, but a few of his teammates are still berating the fact that his ball's on his left foot. Nice strike here across the WC number 9. Scott Booth ready to poke the ball into an empty net, really, but quality of the cross was disappointing, because really that was Aberdeen's best forage into the Rangers penalty area.
Headed again by Bernard. McLaren's passing very good indeed. These short passes of McLaren tend to be extremely accurate. McLaren's pass, the offside flag up. That was good play by the Aberdeen back four. They all stepped up. They're leading McCoist and Salenko well offside. Alec Clellins has switched sides here. We just see that Salenko was offside, well caught there, about 5 yards offside. But Alec Clellins switched to the left back position, and Stephen Wright's now got over to his more accustomed role of right back. Free kick from Gary Smith. Easy one for Petrich against the smaller figure of Billy Dodds. They'll all be a little bit tentative in the opening 20 minutes. Inside showing great respect for each other. Good cross run there, allowing Dodds to take possession. Now Jess has found some space. Smith comes from the back. Gary Smith's pass. Very ambitious in these conditions to play a ball which is sure to skid away from the chasing player. Again doing well. There's Dodds. It's back with Bernard. Delicate ball into space there for Booth to chase. He's cracked by Brown. Yeah, perhaps even the footsteps of Brown behind were enough for Booth. Tackle made by Gascoigne. Jess again has found space. Always looking for a shooting chance in Jess this season. Scored a couple of goals, but very much on form and in the mood.
Well, I think all the Aberdeen players, as soon as they get within 25 yards of Andy Goram's goal, are having a poke at goal and having a good strike, and it does add confidence, and you never know if one could skid off the surface or Andy Goram could drop one or whatever. Aberdeen could be in with a chance, but well worth a go.
That's good play by John Brown with a pass, telling him nowhere to go there on that angle. With the pass, that's Gascoigne. Brown held for the cross. Patient build-up play this from Rangers. Good pressing play though, also by Aberdeen. Stephen Glass pushing forward there. Oh, attempts at goal, very close indeed. Aberdeen, in fact, one more than Rangers, and that's all even. And the one from Stephen Glass, troubling Andy Goram a little.
It does bear out the fact that when Aberdeen do get within 25 yards, they are liable to have a poke at goal, and it is wet, it is windy, it is well worth a try, but Aberdeen really, they'd be quite pleased at the moment. After that early scare, after the early good runs by Gordon Drew down the left-hand side, they'd be quite pleased that they've got the hold of the ball on a few occasions, forced Rangers back, and have troubled Andy Goram.
Craig Moore playing it along. Chase on here for Smith with McCoist putting him under some pressure. And he's down the corner kick. Determined play that by McCoist. Really taking his duties as captain seriously. Gascoigne. Good change of feet. You could see the intention there. Looking for the far top corner. A swerving left-footed shot.
Well, you never know what Paul Gascoigne's going to do. 3 men in the box for Rangers. He tries to float it onto the far post, probably about 4 or 5 yards off target. But Gordon Pedridge will come up for the corner. He'll be annoyed. He's made a 50-yard dash to get on the end of the corner, and Paul Gascoigne puts it behind for a goal kick. But he's probably just using that as a bit of a target practice just to get his range. But the ball was on his left foot, admittedly.
Strong challenge there by Moore. This is McKimmie. Well, ambitious pass that up the line for Scott Booth. McKimmie doing some organising in that left back position. Just to Booth. Put forward by Glass. Cleared by Petrovich. Good tackle by Moore. And Scott Booth's in trouble. Nothing wrong with the tackle, but it certainly did some damage to Scott Booth. He's had injury problems already this season, missed his match on Saturday as part of Thistle, and good play by Brian Grant. Excellent defending, showing terrific awareness of where the goal was. There will be a hold-up here while Scott Booth receives some treatment, but this was great play.
As Gascoigne gets his head up here, doesn't quite have a go and goal, tries to dink a lovely ball to the far post of Gordon Drew spare. But Brian Grant can only do one thing, just wasn't too sure about chesting it back to the goalkeeper, and then had to chest it for a corner kick, and great defending by Brian Grant.
Right ankle in trouble. Well, we'll see how this happens.
It was one of them balls that Craig Moore comes in, a nice half volley there. Scott Booth, seeing the defender come in, tries to nick it over, but a strong and meaty challenge from Craig Moore resulted in an injury. The sort of challenge that you'd like on a wet, windy Hampden night against a very, very good centre forward, and we'll just see how Scott Booth gets on for that, because that could have been a bit of a nasty knock.
It does appear prepared to continue. The hamstring which put him out of the Scotland side a couple of weeks ago and has been troubling him a little. Kick count going Rangers' way, and Paul Gascoigne waits for the all clear from the referee. Salenko in the middle. And no one, they're attacking the ball from the edge of the box. They're all backtracking from the 6-yard line. Another area where it's difficult to develop understanding, Terry, when the team changing so rapidly.
Well, you've got to put the ball in the right area for a start, and Paul Gascoigne put the ball going away from goal, ends up for a throw on the far side. I think if you flying balls in, or he's trying to nick balls into the near post or into the middle of the goal where you can score goals, you've got to give your defenders and your big strikers a chance to actually score, and any touch, anything else could result in a goal, but from that corner, there's no touch in the world who's going to make that go into the goal.
Gascoigne pushing forward again. Looking for A loose ball into the area. That's a very tough tackle, which didn't come off. An Aberdeen break. John Brown very sure-footed. He's better side the left there when that pass reached him. There's Gary Smith, waiting for Dodds to come back on side. Bernard has Miller on the touchline. Gets the break of the ball. A very quick recovery by Wright. Gascoigne's pass, releasing Jury. John Ingles forced to come across to face him. Making for the byline. This is dangerous. Acrobatic clearance from McKinney. Taken down brilliantly by Jess. That's great play in the middle of the field. Bernard finding Glass. Jimmy did all he could to get to that, but he's given it back to Rangers. Oleg Salenko. Now McLaren breaks. Good tackle there by Smith. Bernard. Now Glass coming forward. Well, looking for a run from Scott Booth in the inside left channel. He checked out though. Gascoigne dropping deep. Back here now with Andy Gordon to come for a walk out of his area. Salenko calling for the ball well forward. It goes to McCoist. Across it comes to Booth. This is Jess. Looking for Dodds. It was very well running in by Petrich. Ingles. Now Bernard. Brian Grant supporting the right back position. Well, that's great play from Aberdeen. William Grant making progress. Here's Billy Dodds. Goes to the far side for Jess to attack the Rangers defence. Now Glass. Kimmy comes from the back. Rangers have regrouped in defence. Ambitious effort out from Bernard. No real prospect of beating Andy Gordon from there. Scored, of course, on Saturday against Partick Thistle, Bernard. Explaining himself there to Roy Aiken on the track down below us. So news from south of the border. Arsenal ahead by 1-0 against Barnsley. The scorer was Steve Bold. Grant playing it long this time. Dodds trying to get behind Petrich, supported by Miller. Away from Wright. Here's Jess. Watches in his right foot for the shot. Billy Dodds calling for the ball on the right hand side. Petrich was alert enough for that. Good lay-off was attempted for Stephen Glass. McCoy showing his strength. Fouled by Smith. Misunderstanding there between Gascoigne and McCoist. Aberdeen build again. Good running by Booth in behind Stephen Wright. The ricochet, says the referee, the linesman rather, on the near side, who is the Grade 1 referee. A second goal for Arsenal, scored by Dennis Bergkamp. Back it comes now to John Ingles for Aberdeen. Here's Gary Smith. Forward is Bernard. He's found space again. Lots more movement coming from Aberdeen. They're growing in confidence. Here's Joe Miller. Testing the pace of Stephen Wright, which is seldom found wanting. Very quick indeed on the turn and the recovery. Former Aberdeen player. £1.5 million he cost in the summer. Corner taken short. And Miller spoons that behind for the goal kick. Hangs his head. That's across to the left, across to the right, wasted by Joe Miller.
There's that one of my crosses from the right-hand side there, really just, as they say in golf, in terms of shank behind the goal. But Paul Joe Miller's done well, a good run down the right-hand side, good tackle by Stephen Wright, and the ball going for a corner completely wasted. We've seen that in quite a few occasions in this game. It is a tense, nervous cup tie, but both sets of players really found to really get hold of the ball and making telling situations count.
Rescue there by Gordon Jury, trying a header through the middle for Salenko. No
Jury's versatility has been very important to Rangers since his arrival from Tottenham Hotspur. Here's Bernard. Attempting a good turn there and caught by Gascoigne. Free kick's been given. Confident played out by young Paul Bernard. Referee Dallas once taken again. So, action to a finish tonight, remember, there can't be a draw. And on Sunday, Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle United on Super Sunday. And on Monday also, terrific action, this time Bolton against Arsenal. So a couple of great matches to come, but real drama still to come here at Hampden Park, because this match must be settled tonight. Extra time and penalties if required. Going back to Petric, former Dundee United players. Now McKimmie. Chested back well by Bernard. There's Glass. Neat play by Jess. Both on the left touchline. That's good play. Well, once again, in a big hurry with the cross. He had much more time than that. Well, after doing such excellent work initially, another wasted cross. Well, great skill here by Scott Bruce. Goes inside, Alec Cleland down his left foot. He could have just took it on another couple of strides and then got a better ball into the box. And it's really been endemic of the game so far when players have got into some great positions on the flanks, and free kicks and corners have completely wasted them. So that's why the score's still 0-0. Aberdeen have not been involved in a memorable draw this season. Any match, in fact, only 3 of the 12 matches has one side failed to score. So, an indication there are goals to come. Brown, the organiser, at the back. It's a good spell this for Aberdeen, enjoying plenty of possession here. Rangers midfield just dropping out of things in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Clearance there by McLaren. I think what we're saying is, well, Aberdeen are playing well because they're really squeezing Rangers at the back. Booth and Dodds are playing well. McLaren in midfield is finding it hard to get hold of the ball. But the Rangers 3 at the back and the 5 at the back really just relying on wild clearances, where normally Rangers would play the ball out from the back and would be able to make passes. And Aberdeen have pushed Rangers back in and forced these wild clearances and have been able to pick up the ball and therefore gain a lot of possession. Aberdeen trying to build again. Bernard has played very well again in midfield. He's seen a lot of the ball. Challenge from the back by Moore, and Dodds is penalised by the referee. Space here for Bernard. Tackled by Petric. This is Gascoigne. Quick assessment of all the options and tries to find Jury on the left. Salenko indicating where he wanted the ball played. It's definitely been Rangers' best avenue down this left-hand side. Gordon Jury's had a good game so far. Gone about 3 or 4 really great positions, and for a sharper finishing by McCoy, Rangers moving up. But for me, Gordon Jury's been the best player for Rangers so far. Gascoigne to Salenko. Salenko again. Good one made by Cleland. Still Salenko. Holds it up very well indeed for Rangers. And sent spinning there, and the challenge by Stephen Glass. Dominic Salenko joined the club from Valencia for 2.5 million. Stephen Glass cost nothing from youth football. So Gascoigne waits. It's well won inside the area by McKimmie. Got up extremely well to that. He's not at all a big player, but he jumps extremely well in that central defensive position. Petric going forward. McLaren also there. Short option offered by Stephen Wright, ignored by Paul Gascoigne. Michael Ward really had time to catch that, but took no chances. Still no problem there for the young keeper.
back here with Gascoigne. Now right. Jury. Gascoigne again. Pulls off Miller. And holds him off unfairly. He's been penalised. And he's going to be booked. Gascoigne's latest foul. Now that outburst won't do him any good at all. But he certainly appeared to go off the ball to hold off Joe Miller. Referee Dallas trying to keep a firm grip on things here. Waving McCoist away.
Yeah, I think he just really holds him up there and then loses the ball. Ball comes down here and then he just goes a little bit berserk, poor Gascoigne, and just going to order the yellow card. The referee quite rightly calling him over, but you know, poor Gascoigne will probably play better now he's been put. He's one of these players that once he's had the yellow card, he's got to walk along that thin tightrope between the red card and doing nothing in the game. He seems to have this sadistic approach, if I may say, about having had the yellow card, he'll probably play better.
Well, it's an interesting development. John Brown is taking a long walk towards the referee. The purpose of that, I'm not at all sure. No, it looks as though referee Dallas wants words with him about a little bit of dissent. And he also is booked. Well, that really must be deemed a waste of a yellow card, Terry.
Well, you never know what he might have said. John Brown doesn't really hold back any feelings when it comes to telling the referee how he should be running the game, but obviously Mr. Dallas felt it was worthy of a booking, so John Brown now has got to be very, very careful.
Well, that's why it seemed to be a wasted booking. A little outburst there, verbally, and he now is in a tightrope. Referee Dallas, really highly rated young official on the FIFA list. Well regarded in European football. Bernard's pass, looking for Miller. Covering player is Petric. Throw taken by Stephen Wright. There's Gordon Jury. Grant first to the ball. McCoy's backtracking. That's great play by Joe Miller. Down goes Grant, fouled by McCoist. Well, McCoy's back tackling, and that's a suggestion that Aberdeen really are taking a little bit of a grip in this game.
Oh, I can't believe what Ali McCoist is doing back near his own penalty area. He gets involved with the play here. The ball goes inside to Brian Grant. And that must be the first tackle Ali McCoist has made in his career. So quite rightly, we had to get another look at that.
Free kick taken there by Glass is a good one. Very awkward indeed. Well, that seemed to go behind. Was it a corner? Was it a goal kick? The referee says a goal kick.
Well, we've had two better balls whipped in here, one from Paul Gascoigne, and this one whipped in here goes off. I think John Ingles comes up here. One of them balls playing more, and Andy Gorham getting each other's way, but Andy Gorham shepherds it for a goal kick. But it's a better flight of ball into the box. We've had two better quality free kicks going into the box and caused a few problems.
The offside flag is up against Scott Booth. Was looking for a knock-on there from Booth, which didn't materialise in any event. So back it comes to Gorham. Well, which manager currently you think is happier, Terry?
Well, I think both managers would be quite happy that they haven't conceded a goal in the semi-final. I think Walter Smith would probably feel the worst of the two managers, because he'd be disappointed that Rangers haven't got their passing game together. It is a semi-final. Aberdeen have done their homework well. Their game plan is working very well. I think he'd just be content just to, just feel on a few scratch and see things, because there has to be a winner tonight. There has to be a team that goes through. Obviously, there has to be a team that loses as well. But he'd be quite confident that over the 90 minutes or 120 minutes, if we go to extra time, then his team will have the strength and have the skill to go through.
Well, strength and stamina may well become a factor in these proceedings. Throw goes to Rangers. Going into these late stages of the first half, when first blood could be so important. Here's Salenko. Turns so well to both sides. Showing his two-footedness there. Jury beaten well inside the area by Brian Grant. This is Wright. Goalkeeper's ball, and Michael Watt obliges. 2 shutouts in his previous 7 matches.
Good ball whipped in here by Stephen Wright to the far post. As the collision goes, Ali McCoist goes down the box there, and then Michael Watt comes out and leads over. It's like a wide receiver for Dallas Cowboys.
Misunderstanding there, Salenko with McCoist. Lots of talking going on in the pitch there. Both sets of players who try to Manoeuvre and adjust to take some advantage. John Brown's header. This is Jess. Faced by McLaren. On the far side is McKimmie. Dillon comes to meet him. This is Glass. Now McKimmie. Stephen Wright did well. There wasn't any clear on the right though. Chance to take him on. That's well whipped across. A very good ball. Goal on a full stretch. Dillon in a battle there on the far side with Stephen Glass, who in Aberdeen get the throw. Andy Gorham really was struggling. A great ball in by Joe Miller to the far post. Andy Gorham was struggling here with Craig Moore. And we're not too sure who got the punch, whether it was Craig Moore or whether it was Andy Gorham, but it was good to say from Rangers' point of view, they did clear the danger. And Paul Gascoigne going in very heavily on Stephen Glass. Well, he really is fired up for this. He has to live very dangerously now with that booking early in the match. Now Jess. It's not a good cross, but too high for Joe Miller. The wrong man for Aberdeen in that position. Joe Miller unlikely to hit too many goals. He has been known to do that though. But Gascoigne really is on the knife edge. Yeah, he does, like I say, living on a bit of a knife edge. The ball up in the air here. He just a wild slash there, and Stephen Glass ends up on the sidelines. But you know, he likes to play right at the height of controversy and at a level really where other players wouldn't even dream about playing. But we'll have to see if he can settle down and get hold of the ball, which really is his fundamental job. Now this missed pass, it's cut off by Moore. Dodds with a chance here to find Booth on the left. And the ball gathering pace, wind assisted towards that corner. Scott Booth shakes his head there. He was unlucky. Yeah, we see the players make mistakes. The ball actually went to Craig Moore. He's been back control. He's done it on a couple of occasions. It resulted in a bit of a half chance for Aberdeen to get through. But as we can see from the wind in the players' hairs, the ball is travelling a long way with the wind. The pitch is skiddy and everything else. And we might see a few more mistakes in the penalty areas. Stuart McKimmie's header. There's Booth with Moore. Well controlled by McKimmie's chest. Here's Joe Miller. Beaten by Jury. Stephen Wright's pass. Miller getting a little bit overwrought there. Free kick taken quickly and carelessly. Chance for a break on here with Dodds. Pass came from Stephen Glass. The quick free kick was certainly appropriate, but had to be accurate. Here's Gascoigne. Good running on the far side by Clellan. He's very quick indeed, but so too is Stephen Glass, matching him going back. Clellan's cross. There's Jury. And John Ingles protecting Michael Watt there, making sure that McCoy's could do no damage from Jury's header. There's good play by John Ingles. Good ball by Alex Clellan to the far post. Good header by Gordon Jury up in the air. And then John Ingles does what every good centre-half would do, protect his goalkeeper by blocking Ali McCoy's run. So John Brown's header. This is Ingles. Stephen Glass has done well, he's away from Clellan. And John Brown again, very sure-footed in the middle there. With a stronger left foot, turning the ball away and organising all the time. So had a minute to stoppage time. Can't be a great deal more, I would suspect. Maybe the last attack of the match, this, for Aberdeen. Stuart McKimmie taking this. Brown and Dodds in a tangle. And the referee resolves that by blowing the half-time whistle. So that enabled him not to make a decision on that particular challenge. Well, a fascinating first half, tense and fought all the way, with Paul Gascoigne involved in so much of the controversy. He's been booked already, so he is to live on a knife edge for the rest of the game. Ian Jess trying all he knows to create for Aberdeen from midfield. Aberdeen settling well as the first half wore on, but they weren't able to find a way towards Andy Gorham. So the half-time score at Hampden, Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Welcome back. No goals at Hampden Park. Rangers 0, Aberdeen 0. But there's plenty of other football being played tonight. In England, Coca-Cola Cup ties. Latest scores these. Barnsley 0, Arsenal 2 now. Bolton Bergkamp for Arsenal. Birmingham 1, Tranmere 0. John McGrill, own goal. Inside 2 minutes. Bolton 0, Leicester 0. Reading 0, Bury 2. That's something of a surprise. A real shocker for Blackburn, though. Trailing at Watford by a goal to 0. Kevin Phillips, the goal scorer there. Nigel Spackman and Charlie Nicholas are with us this evening. What do we make of it so far, Nigel?
Very tight game at the moment. I think Rangers started off very brightly, and then Aberdeen had come back into it, had a couple of long-range shots, but it's been quite quiet.
Rangers could have been a goal up virtually from the kickoff, in fact. Had Ali McCoy's done a little better, but what a start that would have been.
Yeah. You'd expect Ali to get this on target at least.
There he is, picking it up and then heading goalwards. Space would worry Aberdeen, wouldn't it, that he had there, Charlie?
It certainly would. I think Ali's little fault there was his control just wasn't as good as what he would like it to be. And it's very unlike him not to hit the target.
Mind you can forgive him a little miscontrol inside 40 seconds,
well,
can't you?
we're used to seeing him missing control in it right enough, but not in the first 40 seconds.
Now, what about two bookings? Bernard went into the book early for Aberdeen for a challenge on Gascoigne, I think exacting retribution for being nutmegged there.
Well, he's embarrassed.
But do you think that the word has gone out to wind him up a little bit?
Well, I'm sure it has, because but to be perfectly honest, Gascoigne's gave a fair bite in return. He's just embarrassed the player there with a bit of skill, and I think he's actually teased him into the tackle and got him the yellow card.
And then went into the book himself. In a way, Nigel, that, I mean, there's the elbow there, look. Is it typical Gascoigne, that? And then a reaction on Dodds? And
I don't know, I think he's been winding them up early on in the game. I think Ian Jess and Bernard, he was winding them up, and maybe he could have got booked a little bit earlier as well, but I think that case there, I mean, the elbow's come up and the referee's standing right there. He's got no option but to book him.
Do you think he'll make the 90 minutes the way he's going on?
I hope so, but I think he's got to settle down. Now, as Terry Butcher said during the commentary, I think now he's got the booking, maybe it's settled him down a little bit, and hopefully he'll keep his head.
No goals as yet at Hampden Park. It does have to finish tonight. We'll have extra time if we can't separate them after 90 minutes. And if still we can't separate them, then there'll be penalties.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Let's go straight back to Hampden and rejoin Terry Butcher and Jock Brown.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, the Rangers strikers waiting to restart the match. Referee Hugh Dallas is satisfied. And the match is underway, and it will be very interesting to see what alterations tactically emerge from the half-time discussions. Anything you anticipate, Terry?
Not really. I think both managers will be trying to get the team to get hold of the ball and make some passes, because any time they have made the passes, they've looked quite confident and not give the ball away, as Alex Salenko did then. And the possession really has been given away too easy, as we see them. Already teams have given possession away about 3 or 4 times. And we've only been going about 30 seconds.
Here's Alec Dillon now. Craig Moore hurries to allow Gascoigne to become involved. Awkward there for Dillon. Here's Gascoigne. Getting some stick from the Aberdeen supporters. That's good defending by John Ingalls. Perhaps wanting to head back for a throw on the corner. Good play by Gascoigne there. He's just doing what he should do, sticking to crossing the ball like that. But a bit of a misheader, but it is windy, it is blustery, and he did the best thing, and a positive action. The ball goes for a corner, and Aberdeen can get their men back, get people marked up, and deal with the danger. So good play once again by John Ingalls, getting in the way of Alex Salenko. So Rangers have sent John Brown up as well as Alan McLaren and Goran Petric. Gascoigne's corner. Just ahead of John Brown by Stuart McKimmie. So the lines are cleared there by Stephen Glass for Aberdeen. Well, certainly conditions have not been at all easy, either underfoot or overhead. Putting control to a premium. Very difficult in the semi-final to settle. Be prepared to make passes. John Brown running into trouble, having to make that tackle on Joe Miller. Was termination all over his face.
That's pretty endemic, Jock, of the way Aberdeen have played. They've closed Rangers down very, very quickly, especially at the back.
Billy Dodds playing that against Craig Moore, and earning his reward there, which appears to be a corner kick. But he wants to take a quick one. Only Gordon Jury goes across. It's only 1 against 2. Here's Joe Miller. Coyce makes a second player. And the offside flag is up. Scott Booth coming into the far post area. Still looking a little bit ragged, the whole build-up process for both sides. See the wind whipping through Scott Booth's hair there. Well, once again, we have a second quality ball whipped in there by Joe Miller, and unfortunately for Scott Booth, the linesman flag was up straight away on the far side. Pretty good job for Scott Booth, it was, because he actually missed the target with his shot. But really, we've had 2 good balls, one from Gascoigne and one from Joe Miller, so we've got a much more positive start to this half. That side count not too dramatic there. McClellan with McCoist in the middle of the field. Now the ball on the ground for Jess. The man I think Aberdeen would most like to see in possession in this area. Bernard to McKimmie. Ahead is Miller. Well tackled by Clellan. Well, Joe Miller's got a problem with it because Alec Clellan in one flank and Stephen Wright on the other side are both very quick players indeed. He can't expect to outpace them. Here's Gary Smith. Well, about ball that over the head of Goran Petric, but no Aberdeen player able to take advantage of that. It's got to be the right ball into the striker's feet, especially with 3 very composed and strong Rangers defenders there. Any ball that are into the striker's feet, Booth and Dodds' feet, will cause panic for the 3 defenders. But it's got to be right. And under these conditions, it's difficult to get the ball on the ground, a quality pass into your strikers. John Brown, can he score that back? Cross on the far side. And Stephen Wright in space. The offside flag up, but Salenko came back there for an offside position. 26 years old tomorrow, like Salenko. Chase here for Booth with the ball again, gathering pace. He's working very hard indeed to get it across goal. He's done well. Came off Booth in the end. That's a corner kick. Well, Scott Booth showing amazing pace to get to that. Craig Moore took a blow in the left eye as he cleared that up. Great pace by Scott Booth down the left-hand side, outpacing Gordon Petric. Good cross to the far post there. Obviously Craig Moore just looking over his shoulder. Joe Miller coming in, good ricochet there. The ball ended up off Craig Moore's eye, I think it was, his left eye for a corner, but it's an important block by Craig Moore. John Brown attacked there for that corner by John Ingalls. Still wasn't put off. Such a tough, resilient character. He was literally attacked there on the near post, wasn't he? And John Ingalls coming in and John Brown bravely going down with his head. John Brown's the sort of player that will do that. He'll fight for the cause and he'll get his head in amongst the studs and just to clear the danger and at the other end as well to score important goals. There's Paul Bernard, tackled by McClellan. It's really well forward. It's turned back there by Grant to Watt. This is Jess. And to create for Aberdeen, having to drop deeper and deeper though to do that. Here's McKimmie. Ahead is Miller through the middle. Scott Booth beaten to that by Brown. Good play by McClellan. Here's Gascoigne. Salenko helping it on from McCoist. Good return pass. Salenko holds it up, checks inside, looks for support. Going away from Gary Smith, who did well to stick to him. Chance there for Jess to come forward. Likes to run at defences like this. Gascoigne trying to match it. That's the pass to Dodds. Still Billy Dodds. He scored! It's a brilliant goal by Dodds. His first glimpse of goal in the match. Aberdeen take the lead. Great play by Jess and then by Dodds. So this is a great run by Ian Jess here. On over the halfway line. Paul Gascoigne doesn't know whether to go to him or stay wide. Now he has to go to him. Sees Billy Dodds. Good control of the Dodds, lets it go, good ricochet here, lucky ricochet, but the ball's there. I thought Andy Gorham would possibly just spread his body a bit more, but Billy Dodds proved he's so sharp. You see the reaction, the reflexes there. Here he comes in, his left foot, one quick look, and it's bang in the back of the net there before Andy Gorham can even spread his body across the goal. Great goal by Billy Dodds.
So Billy Dodds' 5th goal of the season puts Aberdeen ahead, but now they have to defend. It's Gordon Jury going for the equaliser, blocked by Ingles. Salenko looked for a short pass inside. Jury trying to urge his team on. Well, the score now, Aberdeen leading by a goal to nil. And a splendid goal at that, coming after 51 minutes of the match. Michael Watt in the back, got a good catch under pressure from McCoist. Well, no, tactical decision to be taken by Aberdeen, Terry. Do they try to tighten up at the back or do they look for more? Well, this cross was well taken by Michael Watt. Good for your team, good for your back four, especially when your goalkeeper can take a ball like that under good and severe pressure by him, of course. But a team that does score a goal are at their most vulnerable just after they put the ball in the back of the opponent's net. So Roy can be telling his players to be tight now, get the ball out of that Aberdeen back four, just really keep, as they have been doing, and pressing Rangers into making mistakes like we see from Andy Gorham putting the ball out under no pressure. Well, it's a time when Aberdeen will require all the experience of men like Stuart McKimmie taking that throw, the captain. Settle in the lead. The tackle came from Gascoigne. Here's Dodds again, lifted no doubt by that goal. Misunderstanding with Joe Miller. Well, Rangers have options of all kinds. Among the 11 players in the field, they have so many possibilities of changing the pattern of play. They then have Ian Durant, Alexei Mikhailichenko and Neil Murray on the bench. No goalkeeper, interestingly enough, for a match which could go to extra time, Terry. No, especially if Andy Gorham does get a knock, then they've got to put one of the outfield players in. But at the moment, I think that thought would be the furthest from what was Smith's mind. He'd just be concerned with his team trying to get back on level terms. Here's Jess again, controlling things in midfield. McKimmie trying to keep it calm, retaining possession. Glass to McKimmie. This is intelligent play from Aberdeen. Call on the far side came from Brian Grant. Now Bernard. Jess has made a run for the inside right channel. He's gone offside. Bernard holds the play up intelligently. There's Glass. Not a bad effort by Stephen Glass. He has a very good left foot. A lot of passes put together there. Aberdeen growing in confidence. Well, they are supremely confident now after that goal, but Stephen Glass confident there to take the ball on his left foot and try and whip a shot past Andy Gorham. But they made about 10 or 12 passes from the left-hand side all the way across to the right-hand side. They're the team that looks to be the most comfortable. Ingles with Salenko. And a free kick given against Oleg Salenko. A bit of holding there on Ingles. Ingles clearly was outpacing him there. That was the problem for the Rangers striker. I think he just got the wrong side here. As you can see, the ball's alongside, but John Ingles does well, holds him off, and then Oleg Salenko just pulls him down. So you can see there, a bit of a touch-and-go decision. I think the referee was right. From this angle, it's a lot better. You can see his arm pulling down John Ingles, and the referee, only about 10 yards away, was right on the spot and made the correct decision. So Walter Smith now down on the trackside from the director's box, discussing with Archie Knox a possible change. Jury. Forward is Salenko. Joe Miller doing a good back-tracking job on Clellan. Jess to Dodds. Here's Miller on the left now. Away from Clellan, perhaps fortunately. From Clellan, that is. Now Dodds. There's Glass outside him. He's the target. Couldn't make contact with the ball as Craig Moore made his challenge. Stephen Glass, the youngest player in the field, 19.5 years old, a little bit younger than Craig Moore of Rangers. There's Joe Miller. Very happy to keep the ball in the corner flag area, but it's a goal kick given. Joe Miller is not happy about that. The facial expression, and any lip reader would tell you he wasn't impressed with that decision. Is that one of your expressions, I think, Joe? Well, let's have a look at this goal again, the one scored by Billy Dodds, which separates the sides. Ian Jess's great run, good ball inside, slight miscontrol from Billy Dodds, gets the lucky ricochet there. Andy Gorham can't get down on the ground, and it seems to be through Andy Gorham's legs or to the side of it, in the back of the net. I wonder if Andy Gorham regrets making a run from his goal line, with the angle closing so rapidly for Dodds.
Jess plays it long, looking for Dodds again. It's just out of reach. He was being policed this time by Alan McLaren. But Ian Jess has done very well indeed for Aberdeen in circumstances where he's been really marred by Alan McLaren for much of the time, but he's found space.
Yeah, but Alan McLaren's gone to try and win the ball. I think when you do go a goal down, you try and win the game and get the ball back as quick as you can. You look a bit ragged, you haven't got the discipline, you haven't got the shape of the team and everything else, so you can end up making bad decisions and losing your shape completely, which is the wrong sort of thing. But Aberdeen have got their shape now. They're passing the ball, they're closing down ranges all the time, and as we can see, they win the ball back quite comfortably.
And they've moved John Brown into midfield. Alan McLaren's dropped back into central defence. Misunderstanding there between Miller and Booth. Interesting change that, Terry.
Well, they haven't got anything going, Rangers, they haven't got any passing from the back. John Brown did well in midfield when he came on in 2-1 against Juventus, but then they just want somebody in there to get hold of the ball and to try and get a bit of pattern going. They haven't got any pattern at all in this game so far, and Aberdeen's game plan is winning hands down.
Kimmy back to Gary Smith. This is Glass. Over to the far side it goes to Dodds. See the ball swirling in the wind there. That made it difficult.
But Aberdeen are trying to force Rangers back on both flanks, giving the ball up to the strikers, testing out this Rangers back four now. I think they're breakthrough going to a back four.
Good ball there from Brown, but overshooting Gordon Jury. It's a very difficult task this evening to play long passes which don't get caught with the wind and skid off the wet surface.
Well, that's a tendency when you do go down, is to really hit the killer balls, hit the long passes, and any balls like that going through would be food and drink to Michael Watt.
Dodds did well. Booth won't reach that. The offside flag was up in any event against Scott Booth. Brown has to play it back here to McLaren. Good pass to Cleland. Inside is Brown. Cleland again. Under pressure from Glass. Back with Moore, and they have to play it all the way back to Gorham. That's good pressing play by Aberdeen. Excellent play by Aberdeen, as we can see. Forces a mistake from Andy Gorham. Now Joe Miller. Booth is outside him. And Miller again trying a chip shot there, I think. Andy Gorham not happy with himself. Well, really, Ryan Walker Smith, I think, on the sideline should be just trying to get his team to just calm down a little bit, just relax a little bit, just take it easy, just get some passing down. Plenty of time to get back in the game. You've got probably half an hour to get back into the match. Don't lose your head, don't lose your shape. Just be patient and get your football going, because really Rangers haven't played that much football in the match, so they do a spell. They're trying to change that now. Ian Durant is preparing to come on down below us. Gascoigne retrieves it. He's had a very quiet second half so far. Hasn't been involved for some time. He's brought down there, tackled by Bernard. The free kick's been given. Gascoigne again has a few words to say to the referee. Free kick's taken quickly. There's John Brown trying to look for Jury through the middle. Clearing some Smith, reaches Dodds. The space for Miller to exploit on the left. There's Booth through the middle. Back it comes now to Stuart McKimmie. Booth is offside. Glass wouldn't have been offside had he been the player chasing that ball. Scott Booth made the diagonal run a shade too early. Now the change will be made by Rangers.
Just see him just offside there running. McLaren did well to step up and everything else, but I mean, Joe Miller, it's great from Aberdeen point of view when Joe Miller gets the ball, because he can carry the ball fully 30 or 40 yards and hold off a challenge, can use the ball well, and it's great when you're under a bit of pressure as Aberdeen are at the moment. Rangers pumping long balls into the box and trying to get Salenko and McCoy's working up front. But it's good that Joe Miller can pick the ball up and just run at the Rangers defence, relieving a bit of pressure.
Ian Durant is on the right-hand side of the midfield. Salenko challenging. Grant under pressure there from Jury, to just enough to go to the ball. That was the vital part. Jury offers no claim for a foul, correctly. So a corner kick, count being won by Rangers. Durant lights that in. Ward has missed it. Been saved by his defence. Hasn't looked too secure with these balls all night. Now Cleland. Fighting it again, John Brown controlling it, tackled well at the edge of the area by Ingles. Gascoigne retrieving, pressurised by Dodds. Petrach.
Durant has Stephen Wright breaking on the right. He takes it from Salenko. Salenko again. Well, he did well to make room for himself. A shot with no real venom in it. Well, Michael Watt lucky to survive this last corner kick. Here's one of those swirling balls comes in the box. I thought he was going to punch it. Tried to punch it, in fact missed it. Did a Superman and missed the ball, and Alex Salenko can't quite get it. But so Watt will be relieved. He survived the treacherous night for goalkeepers. And almost ran for Scott Booth going through the middle. Well, there's uncertainty right throughout this Rangers team tonight in all departments, Terry. Well, a bit uncertain in the actual flight of the ball. Difficult to pick up in these conditions. But having said that, somebody should be able to get on the end of one and just clear the danger. Here's Gary Smith for Aberdeen. And picking the passes much better than Rangers at this stage in the match. Now Glass. Dodds has come short. Both rates in the middle. Miller coming from the far side. This is Glass. Faced by Wright. Now Ian Jess. Again finding space. Good change of pace away from Gascoigne. Bernard. On the far side is Miller. It's good play again from Aberdeen. Very patient. Now is Jess again. Still Ian Jess. Still retaining possession. He's full of confidence. Now Miller. He's down the corner. This is good play from Aberdeen. Controlling the game now. Settled on this 1-goal lead. Yes, Ian Jess, a great run. Bending his run alongside the Rangers' defence. Jinx inside here. Jinx once, Jinx twice. Ian Durant comes across the tackle, and Ian Cullen's there. Plays the ball out wide. Joe Miller picks up the ball now. Eventually goes to the corner. Stephen Wright's header clear. It's a Salenko. Chance on him, of course, on his own. 1 against 1 with Gary Smith. Brian Grant getting back. Smith held him up well. Now Wright. Good running by Durant. Defending is solid again for Aberdeen. Broke off Dodds. Unlucky. Possession back to Rangers. But Aberdeen don't panic from defence when the ball's played back to them. They don't fault the ball. They pass the ball out of defence, which I think really been a sign of this game so far. They've been able to retain possession, as we did show on the stats. That they did have more possession in the first half by not panicking under situations where Rangers have just rallied the ball up the park. This is Cleland. Tackle there from the back was by Ingles on Jury. Great pass again from Jess. Now Miller. Chance to come inside here. Looking for Dodds. He's not tall enough. Forced to play it, the corner flag. He kept him very well indeed by Glass. Back now with Jess. He's inside the penalty box. That's when he's so dangerous. Back with Bernard. Glass has McKimmie behind. Trying to take on Stephen Wright on the outside. Goes away harmlessly for the goal kick. But another injury problem in the centre of the field. Scott Booth is down again. This time he's taking a blow to the throat. So, with Scott Booth getting treatment, views from the Coca-Cola Cup down south. Alan Shearer has equalised for Blackburn Rovers. Bickley's Road, Watford 1, Blackburn 1. Well, Boykin there, the Aberdeen manager, who's worked something of a miracle in terms of transforming the club in his short spell in charge. Entitled to be very pleased, I think, Terry, with this performance. Yes, he'd be quite pleased. You see, he's not quite relaxed. Not normally how we associate Will Aitken. He's normally out there pointing in his veins, sticking out of his neck, but shouting instructions to his players. But he's quite relaxed, he's quite calm, and he's maybe right to be so, because Aberdeen have made the passes, they've got possession, they've defended very well, and done the job when they've had to. Good touch on by Salenko. Takes it back from McCoist. Careless one, got up easily by Grant. Petric. Durant. Looking for Salenko, and he has support also from Alec Cleland. You can't get to that. Well, the other surprising aspect of the second half, Terry, is the absence really of Paul Gascoigne as a feature of the game. Yeah, I'm not too sure if he's been feeling his injury. He did towards the end of the first half. He was just hobbling about in the centre of the park. He hasn't done much running. He's made a couple of bursts through the middle, but hasn't gotten the ball. I really think that's down to the quality of Aberdeen's defending, Aberdeen's hustling, and they've managed to knock him off the ball, which is a compliment to their attitude.
Salenko getting the better of Grant. Smith's head up here. Losing out to Cleland. Here's Salenko. Three in the middle for Rangers. Jury. Gascoigne. Lecoist. Still Salenko showing too much of that though to John Ingles. Back from Durant to Petric. Grant's challenge. Here's Cleland. Looking for Jury inside the area. Difficult for the defender. John Ingles standing up well. Resisting the temptation. Ingles to dive into a tackle inside the penalty box against a very quick player, Gordon Jury. Good play by Rangers. Probably their best movement of the match into Gordon Jury's feet. Just tries to take John Ingles. Takes him once, takes him twice. A good block by the big man. Good save by Michael Watt down his near post. I think John Ingles is still down at the moment, about to have treatment. Mr. Dallas has gone over to see if he's okay and suggesting that he goes off the pitch to get his treatment. But a good block from that cross by Gordon Jury. B. Dallas insisting the match continues. John Ingles is off the pitch at the moment, where he'll get some treatment from Davy Wiley, the Aberdeen physio. Ball returned there by Stephen Wright to Aberdeen. Otherwise McKinney will put the ball forward. There's Booth. Well, the possession figure shown here. Aberdeen still dominating in that area. McLaren lofting it forward. That's a very hopeful ball though. Down for Durant. Well tackled by Glass. There's Joe Miller. That's one for Booth to chase. Stephen Wright matching him going back. Waits for support. Glass. Now Jess. Can't see enough of the ball at the moment. That's a good pass. Here's Booth. And Bernard. Glass for the outswing. Cross! Billy Dodds! 2-0 to Aberdeen. Brilliantly conceived goal by Aberdeen. A second goal which has been threatened for some time. Patiently built up. Lovely ball out here with Stephen Glass. Inch perfect cross to the far post. No Rangers players anywhere near Billy Dodds, and he gets a simple task really. We see it from a great angle. Good play by Stephen Glass with the lovely balling. Gordon Petric has gone to the near post. Not a simple task to finish that, but one of the easiest chances that Billy Dodds will have to make it 2-0. Well, great play again from Aberdeen. It was such a good build-up. I took plenty of time about that. Here comes Jess. That's for Booth to chase. Stephen Wright very quick indeed. Booth would know that all right. They were teammates for so long at Aberdeen. Stephen Wright going there in 1987. Coming to Rangers in the close season this year. That was a lovely ball by Ian Jess once more, wasn't it? Just inside Stephen Wright. Stephen Wright holding him off well, holding Scott Booth off well, and Scott Booth conceding the free kick. We won't mind conceding a free kick in that area. Lecoist putting pressure on Michael Watt. It coped extremely well there. But the big question again for Rangers, there were actually two men over on the far post there, Terry, with no cover at all. Well, I think it was in Demi. I mean, Aberdeen have passed the ball so well that Rangers really have struggled to get hold of the ball, pushed men forward, have had to reshape. They've gone from a 3 at the back to a 4 now, and at the end of the day, haven't got anybody on the man on the ball, especially Ian Jess. When he's got hold of that ball, they've looked dangerous Aberdeen all the time. He's threaded some lovely balls through, threaded the ball through for the first goal from Billy Dodds, and you know, just when he does get on the ball, Rangers players can't get near him. Well, this really is an outstanding performance at this stage in the match from Aberdeen. Billy Dodds, the goal scorer. Booth was caught late by McLaren. Free kick now to Aberdeen. Well, I've seldom seen Rangers look quite so ragged in a long time. Well, they look ragged. They haven't been able to get hold of the ball. I think really it's not so much Rangers looking ragged as the fact that Aberdeen have made them look ragged by their possession, by their patience, by their resilience, and by their determination to knock Rangers off their stride and hustle them at every opportunity. And I think they've done that to perfection. Jimmy's free kick. And Mike Cleland. There's Dodds. Forward there. Booth. And the offside flag somewhat belatedly against Joe Miller. Billy Dodds ahead of there, you see
think Scott Booth flicking it over the lines and then took an eternity to think about it. I thought about it moving and thought, well, no, I can't go and get that ball. I'm going to give a free kick for offside there. That's Bernard, back to Grant. Hoping well against Dodds that time. This is Jess. Space again, popping up to the right is Dodds. Booth waits in the middle, so does Glass. Turned away safely there by McLaren for the corner. And that shows the frustration in the Rangers ranks. Alan McLaren very unhappy indeed at this stage. Once again, Ian Jess on the ball. Lovely ball to Billy Dodds. Billy Dodds is thinking about crossing the ball, gets his head up now and has a look. Scott Booth in an offside position. Then thinks about the cross and the ball really strikes down Alan McLaren before he can clear the ball for a throw, and so the corner's conceded. Glass with the corner. Salenko's lay off. Misunderstanding there in defence. Petric left that go to right. Aberdeen come again. Kenny had gone down. It'll be a throw to Rangers. And inside, there's Petric. And now Clement in the left back position. Gascoigne in possession. That's been something of a rarity in the second half. In the middle is John Brown. Played by Durant for Salenko. Oh, attempted goal, certainly badly replied by Rangers at this stage. He's disappointed though. Well, I think if Rangers are to get into this game, they really have to have more chances than that. And you can see Arsenal finding it very easy to score goals. Rangers are really struggling. Martin Keown getting that third Arsenal goal after Steve Ball and Dennis Bergkamp. Up goes Brown with a header. Jess. The irony is he was released by Rangers in 1987. McLaren. Salenko's layoff. There's Gascoigne. Couldn't find the pass, but Kimmy blocked him well. Dodds did well. The Aberdeen front two worked extremely hard to close down defenders. Fury was in behind Grant, but he couldn't control that first time. Towards McCoist it goes, and charging in was John Brown. Well, he's not happy and having a few words to say. His teammate doesn't take defeat kindly, John Brown. Good ball whipped in there by Gordon Dury. Alan McCoist and John Brown go for the same ball. I think John Brown was claiming the corner. Unbeknownst to him, Alan McCoist probably blocked his header at goal, but that's really Rangers players getting in each other's way. Came off Ian Durant's head, back from McLaren. The Rangers now playing forward at the back right. McLaren, Petric and Clement. Clement pushing forward. In the middle now, Durant joining Gascoigne and Brown. 3 up. Salenko, McCoist and Dury. Inside the final quarter of an hour. Well, just let's have another look at that second Billy Dodds goal. Here's the ball in from the far post, Stephen Glass. Billy Dodds coming across, edge of the ball there, nobody near him. Andy Gorham had no chance whatsoever from about 4 yards. That was the quality of the pass from Stephen Glass, the quality of the finish from Billy Dodds. I can't help thinking that Billy Dodds would be utterly astonished to have so much freedom inside the box. Handball against Gascoigne. Yeah, he wants to say something. Good running also. Jess. Well tackled by McLaren, but Jess wins it back. Spinning like a top. Bernard. A shooting chance for Dodds. First touch let him down. Back with Jess again. Well, he's enjoying himself all right. Well, an 18-year-old in the Aberdeen side which beat Rangers in the final 1989. Deflected there, a shot from Gary Smith, so Aberdeen will have a corner. Well, Aberdeen really are turning it on now and making Rangers something. Well, they certainly are. They're picking Rangers players off with ease now. The passing really, which has been good all throughout the game, and really has killed Rangers off when they have had possession. Aberdeen is really destroying them now. Rangers just can't get the ball back to try and get back into the game. A smile on the face of Ian Jess, and that was absent throughout last season. That's the contributed to their problems, I think, to lose Jess. That tackle there by Gordon Jury. He's going to be booked for that. Great skill again by Ian Jess. Just flicks the ball past, and Gordon Jury really out of frustration. The fair cop job, I think he says there. Back to right, and booked by Mr. Dallas. Third Rangers player to be booked after Paul Gascoigne and John Brown. Just one Aberdeen player in the referee's book. That's Paul Bernard. He was the first of all. Roy Aiken out there on the track. I wonder if he considers this the best performance from Aberdeen under his control. Still time to go, and Rangers renowned for comebacks in this position. Wasted free kick. It's Joe Miller swirling that behind for the goal kick, taking some pressure off Rangers. So we're inside the final 12 minutes of the match, and Rangers, who are renowned for comebacks, late comebacks, saving matches which appear to be lost, have to do it here, and have to start doing something quickly. All the way through for Gascoigne or Salenko. That's Jess. Brown wants to make his presence felt. Did just enough. Here's Cleland. Back now with Durant. Dodds losing out to right. Ball runs kindly for Aberdeen. Bernard looking for Booth, but good defending there by McLaren and Petric. Pushing to the halfway line, leaving Booth well offside. Well, really has to be something miraculous now from Rangers. They still have Alexei Mikhailchenko and Neil Murray on the bench. Mikhailchenko's been warming up diligently for some time. Pass from Petric, asking too much there of Alec Cleland. Reach back to his teammate, Walter Smith. Heads back the tunnel to the director's box. Well, I'm surprised at that at this stage. So the throw to Rangers. Cullen may be involved for just about the last time in the match. Leaving that throw to Gordon Jury, going for the length. Petric. The other way back Ingles. Dodds under the ball. Alexei Mikhailchenko waiting down below us to come on to replace Alec Cleland. It's Cleland's last contribution perhaps. Swept away not too convincingly by Smith. It's a better clearance by Ingles. Now Dodds. Losing out to McLaren. Determination. Cleland again on the far side. That's for Salenko. Across goes John Ingles. Salenko expert at screening the ball. Free kick taken quickly. There's McLaren. That was deflected upwardly. A worrying moment there for Aberdeen. Now McLaren trying a long range out. Was deflected just wide of the far post. And now Rangers want to make their change. Good strike around McLaren. He can strike them as well from a long distance. And Michael Watt scrambling across his goal for the deflection. He'd be quite pleased to see that go for the corner. Off goes Alec Bell, who was on the last week in Turin against Juventus. He's replaced by Alexei Mikhailchenko, so that's an extra man in attacking mode for Rangers. Gascoigne's corner went out of play and bent back in. It's a goal kick to Aberdeen. 10 minutes left, and Rangers save this, Terry. Well, not with corners like this, because that ball's just gone out probably about 2 or 3 feet. The linesman's right on the spot to give a goal kick, but Rangers have been noisy. They've got supreme power in the air. They have a lot of tall players, a lot of aggressive players in the air. They needed that ball into the box. They needed that ball into the danger area. We've seen Michael Watt fluff one cross going into his box, and Rangers needed to pile the pressure on. Unfortunately for them, it's a goal kick. Well, they've got into a 3-3-4 formation now. Just 3 at the back. Right, McLaren, Petric. Mikhailchenko has gone to an outside left position, an attacking 4. Jury's on the right. McCoy and Salenko through the middle. No problem there, but looking for a miracle from another new formation. Rangers have changed formations so frequently in this game. Yes, they had changed formation, but Billy Dodds and Scott Booth up front really have worked hard on whatever system Rangers have put against them. Whether it's 3, whether it's a 2, whether it's a 4. And they've worked so hard, they've worked tirelessly and got the rewards from it.
Dodds trying to play that into the path of Booth. He's back with Andy Gordon. Salenko screening it again, holding a play up, tackled firmly by Bernard. So this is Stephen Glass to Joe Miller. Miller being threatened there by Gascoigne, and made the tackle. Well, Gascoigne wants to be on the ball, not chasing it. Yeah, that's really been endemic of the play so far this match. We've had 82 minutes over 82 minutes, and Gaza really hasn't got on the ball a lot. Only at set plays, and the one set play, had he put the ball behind for a goalkeeper. Aberdeen in possession again. Brown going strongly there to win the ball back for Rangers, but the ball's gone out for the throw-in. There's going to be a change made this time by Aberdeen. Change, I think, designed to hold what they have. Peter Helliston preparing to come on to replace Joe Miller. Petric goes striding forward. That's McCoy to Salenko. Coming into the far side is Mikalichenko. Brian Grant getting back. A chance on here for Jury. And a desperate saving tackle there by Stuart McKinney. The captain saved today for Aberdeen. Well, this was Rangers' best attacking play. Lovely ball out to Mikalichenko. Thinks about the cross, comes inside. There's a ball back there, and you think that Gordon Jones just hits the target, but Stuart McKinney flings himself for the corner. It is Mikalichenko again. Oh, driven well over the top. Alexei Mikalichenko almost giving Rangers a goal, which would have set them up for a grandstand finish. And now the change will be made by Aberdeen. And there's going to be terrific applause, I can assure you, for Joe Miller, who's worked so hard. Began his career at Petrobia, then had a spell with Celtic before returning 2 years ago. He's played very well indeed tonight. Smile on the face says a great deal. Peter Henderson replaces him. An out-and-out midfield player. Which makes an even more solid midfield forward in terms of defending. If I was Roy, I'd just be concerned with Alexei Mikalichenko on that left-hand side, and Peter Henderson probably going over there straight away to try and help out Brian Grant, because that was really where Rangers almost scored when Mikalichenko pulled it back. Awkward for Grant. Control there, showing some sense of responsibility also. The chase here for Booth. There's McLaren, who had to take the ball away from Andy Gordon. That's good defending by McLaren. So easily a bit of defensive disaster there for Rangers. Cool head of McLaren doing well. This is Durant. Chant is Aberdeen, and little wonder. Now McCoy goes to Salenko. Mikalichenko wants the ball also. Great goal by Oleg Salenko. And suddenly Rangers are right back in this semi-final. He scored right out of the blue. And what a shock this is for Aberdeen. Great layoff, good ball into the box from McCoy. Good layoff there, finds it on his left foot, cuts inside onto his right foot, finds his shot in the near post. Michael Watt will be disappointed that he's beaten at the near post there. We see Oleg Salenko on the ball, finds inside on his right foot. There's the gap, and there's the goal. Terrific strike by Salenko. His fourth goal for Rangers, and he's put them right back in this tie. The complexion of the game could change very suddenly now. Here's Jury. It'll be a real grandstand finish from Rangers, you can be sure of that. They will not accept defeat without a huge effort. Gascoigne to Brown. Now Durant. Brown still in the box. Tackled very well indeed inside that area by Ingles. Gascoigne trying to find a gap in the defence. Stopped away in the end by Bernard. And Aberdeen have Roy Aitken and Tommy Craig below us, waving the players forward. They don't want to defend on the edge of the box. So now Aberdeen have to have all their composure restored. Salenko has changed the complexion of the match. A fine goal. It's Billy Dodds' ball. Here's McLaren. No option there. We'll play that back
takes over. Now Brown. Here's Stephen Wright. Good pressing play again from Aberdeen. Trying to retain the shape out, composure. In these closing stages, they've been so seldom troubled at the back. That goal really came right out of nothing. Dummy from John Brown, not effective. Durant didn't read it. Here's Brian Grant. That's great running by Grant, but not quite enough space in the flank. Still relieves some pressure for Aberdeen. Goal from Petrick to Brown. Here's Alan McLaren. Now it's with Stephen Wright. Playing the long ball game here. Trying to find a way through. Maybe an error as much as anything else, I think, for the Aberdeen defence. The handball decision has been given. It's an Aberdeen decision. Handball, free kick it must be. Given against Salenko by Alistair Hewitt, the near side linesman. Who's a grade 1 referee. Salenko not happy with that. Hugh Dallas has kept a very good grip in this match. Looked at one stage in the first half, so he may have some problems. He's coped very well indeed. Chase on here by Dodds. He's eased out of that by McLaren. Tireless working up from Dodds. Aberdeen will be quite relieved to see the ball go for a goal. Take the chance to regroup, get their system together and get that ball back into the Rangers half. Well, Aberdeen have not seen any trophies since the 1990 Scottish Cup, which they won in penalty kicks against Celtic. Great opportunity of going to the final. Face first division opposition, the winners of Dundee against Airdrie, playing tomorrow night. So the clock ticking away, the Aberdeen supporters waiting anxiously as Stephen Wright concedes a foul by a push on Billy Dodds. That's a nice position to be in, got a free kick right on full time virtually, put the ball into the Rangers penalty, probably put it towards the corner flag if anything, to try and kill a few more seconds. That's exactly what he's done, looking for a run from Dodds, who has run offside. Aberdeen again can regroup on the halfway line to face the free kick. Well, Dodds hoping fervently that his 2 goals have taken Aberdeen to the final. Still there may be some defensive work to do though. Kimmy going up in determined fashion, he's damaged his face, colliding with the back of Judy's head. Here's Mikhailchenko, back with Durant. Kimmy standing round. Petrick. Take ball forward. The cross by Mikhailchenko, but Kimmy's now back on his feet, trying to go back into defensive position as Durant comes across field. Gascoigne for Petrick. Salenko stayed wide. Laid in low and hooked away there by Ingles, but here's John Brown on his left foot. Mikhailchenko with the acrobatic effort. Desperation there about that Rangers attack. We're now into stoppage time at the end of the semi-final. Well, it's the first time in the match Aberdeen defence was bragged there, but Mikhailchenko trying a little bit ambitious. I think he had flags to lay the ball off to Durant was in the box, and so was Paul Gascoigne. So a bit ambitious, but any ball into the box, and Rangers must get that ball into the penalty area if they can win it back. Michael Watt replacing the ball. The referee indicating long range, and he's checking his watch for that. A little bit of time wasting. Well, almost a minute now of stoppage time. Gascoigne playing it forward. Here's McCoy. Could be the last chance for Rangers. McKimmie and Smith doing well. This is Dodds against John Brown. Jury back to Durant. On the far side is Petrick. Looking for Mikhailchenko. It's won by Durant. Here's Burke. Will take this for a run if he can. He doesn't need to. Aberdeen are in the final. The goal scored by Billy Dodds. Proved decisive in the end. The major shot here as Rangers are beaten. Peter Henderson is substitute, joining the celebrations now, but it was a great overall Aberdeen performance. Yes, great roll from the back, right the way to the front. The front two in particular, Dodds and Booth worked so hard to close the Rangers back three who started off the game. They did not have the possession, they did not have the chance to create things from the back, and set the pattern really for the rest of this Aberdeen performance. A gritty, determined performance. but no short of quality as well, as we saw from Ian Jess. Lovely through ball to Billy Dodds with the first goal. Superb ball from Stephen Glass to the far post of Billy Dodds. That bit of determination, that bit of quality was well above Ryan's kind of day. A thoroughly deserved Aberdeen performance.
Oh, you can see the joy in these players' faces and the supporters now savouring the moment after the trials and tribulations of last season when relegation was avoided by the playoff. And now, on the brink of a trophy, Billy Dodds was the goal-scoring hero, but it was a great overall team performance by Aberdeen. They didn't have a weakness on the night, only that little bit of nervous closing 5 minutes after Oleg Salenko pulled one back for Rangers, but Aberdeen over the piece, so effective, so composed, so well organised by Roy Aitken and Tommy Craig. They have done extremely well to win this match, and it's Aberdeen who are in the final.
So Rangers are out, beaten by Aberdeen by 2-1. And as Jock was saying, what a marvellous resurgence for Aberdeen. So close to disaster last season, but they are in the final now of the Coca-Cola Cup. We'll be back at Hampden getting some reaction to that when we come back. Also the thoughts of